everybody, welcome. I just want to start by saying thank you for joining me for my presentation on audience interaction within virtual communication. Let's get started. So, communicating virtually or online has really seemed to become extremely prominent, especially over the past year with the pandemic and everything. And whether it's for school or for work or for even just casual use, it's important to make these conversations or these presentations feel as if they are happening in person. So, a great way to incorporate this idea is to make the conversations being had as interactive as possible. And this will kind of help the audience be more engaged and make them feel as if they're really seen, even though technically they're behind a computer screen. So, after doing some research, I found that there are many ways that you can keep this interaction going within virtual communication. But there's three ways that really stuck out to me the most. And these three ways were the use of icebreakers, the use of Google Forms, and also taking a group photo. So the first one that I want to talk about quickly is icebreakers. And icebreakers are really a way to just keep the audience engaged from the very beginning. And they don't have to be some elaborate thing. They can just be a quick introduction game. They can be a simple question being asked, or you could even make up a poll and ask a question as easy as what are you drinking this morning? And people can answer coffee, water, juice, tea. Really just getting that audience involved from the get-go. And there's a company called Mentimeter, and Mentimeter really helps with the creation of online presentations. That's what the company does. And on their website, they mention that the use of icebreakers actually helps everybody, not just the speaker, but the audience as well, feel at ease. And it will also help you, the speaker, relax before getting into those main points of the presentation. So the second thing I want to talk about is Google Forms. And Google Forms allows the audience to actually engage with the presentation that you're giving and enables them to see results in real time. There is another company called TechnoKids, and Google Forms are used a lot for school, and I've noticed this with my virtual classes that I've been taking over the past year. A lot of teachers use Google Forms now. And TechnoKids is a company that creates these computer curriculums for students. And they mention that a couple reasons it's good to use Google Forms is because it allows you to use various types of questions, and you can see the little example that I made. It says Google Forms rocks right on the slide, and you can see the different types of questions. You can do a multiple choice, you can do a short answer, you can even do a drop down box question. And what's really cool about Google Forms, and probably the best thing about it, is that you can actually see the responses being submitted in real time, and it automatically records these responses and organizes them into easy to read graphs and charts that you're able to share right away with the audience if you wanted to share them, or you can keep them for a later date. Let's just say if you're doing research and they were taking a survey and you kind of need to keep everything organized but you don't need it right away, it'll save it on your account for you to go back to. So that's probably the best thing about Google Forms. And there's an article by Forbes, and it says that by using these types of polls and these surveys, it's a great way to increase audience participation, which is what we're looking for when we want more interaction from our audience. So the third and final idea that I want to speak on, and it's my personal favorite, is the idea of getting a group photo. And it might seem like that's kind of weird for a virtual presentation. But it's actually something that sounds like a lot of fun, right? It's different. It gets the audience kind of to wake up a little bit, and it'll probably end up looking like the photo you see on this slide, where everybody's picture is kind of in a grid. That's what it usually looks like on Zoom or Google Classroom, whatever platform that you're using. And that company I mentioned earlier, Mentimeter, just says that getting this group photo is really a fun way to keep the audience tuned in to the presentation. And most importantly, it makes them smile. And you might not think that this is a big deal, but smiling is actually proven to put people in a better mood. And when people are in a better mood, it will lead to the audience leaving your presentation feeling good, feeling great, feeling happy. And ultimately, that is a win for you, the speaker, and also a win for the audience as well. So there are many other ways out there that you can keep the audience interacting with you during your presentation. These are just a few that I found really interesting and creative. I hope that this kind of gives you ideas or maybe even guidance or just kind of plant seeds for your own future presentations. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you have a great day.